Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, this is Tyler with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and this is a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole Daily Show. Appreciate you guys checking this one out. The podcast is doing very well. The latest episode with Valerie Austin just hit last week, and man, there are a ton of people that I've been talking to, talking about Valerie, the information that she gives, whether it's they've read her book or they've ordered her book, or they're just listening to the podcast and the different things that we've got going on, and they're getting their information about trying to help their kids be more confident, be more calm, be more clutch in those big time moments. So I appreciate you guys spreading the word. It's always a lot of fun when I get to talk to people and they say, hey man, that last guest you had, Valerie, was awesome. I liked when she said, X, Y, and Z. So appreciate you guys sharing that information as always. It's great to hear that stuff. So if you have a guest that you want me to sort of effort and try to bring on, leave me a comment below, send me an email, shoot me a message, DM me, whatever, and say, hey, Tyler, try to get such and such. I love this person. I want to hear them talk about these topics or something like that. I'll definitely give it a shot. I'll definitely try to reach out to them and find out if their schedule and my schedule will match up. So appreciate you guys. Moving forward, this morning, I was scrolling through Facebook, checking the channel, see what was going on, and I always find Mandy Baldoff's page. And if you guys remember Mandy, she's been on the podcast before. We've talked, we've had different discussions. My daughter Caden works with her as sort of a college recruiting scout, trying to help my daughter fish in the right ponds and find, help her run her race, find her journey, whatever it may be in the college spectrum. But I did land on her page earlier today, as often as I do. And she had mentioned a great post. She had actually posted something earlier talking about just because X, Y, and Z does something doesn't mean that you need to be doing it or it needs to be a part of your process. And man, it got my mind like going all over the place, because Mandy and we talk about this type of stuff when we do have our conversations, and I think you could mix what Mandy said with this day and age and with the fear of missing out. And so we see it on social media. So first off, we think that it's the gospel. So if we see that somebody is going to this camp, or somebody is committed to go here, or somebody has signed to go here, for some reason, it puts pressure on us. Like we have to keep up with them. It's like this one-up mentality. If you're thinking about going to a camp, okay, talk to the people that either A, need to have that information, whether it could be your travel manager, or it could be your scout, or it could be your guidance counselor, or it could be someone that has some vital information for you that can make that camp better for you. But talking to another parent and say, hey, I know Susie has gone to these camps. How expensive was it? Was it a good camp? This and that. They may get direct feedback from them, but what you're getting is their experience. You're getting their impression of that camp. And I talk about this with my team, and it's like you could have two polar opposite level players or two polar opposite skill set type players. You could have this speedster, this 5'2" speedster that runs the outfield like a deer, can track down any ball, super quick, super fast, not a lot of power. Then you could have this other girl that's on your team, isn't very fast, tons of power, plays the corners, and hits home runs like it's nobody's business. Okay, so you have those two types. Very seldom are you going to find a team that has a direct need for both of those types of players. Now, I'm not saying both of those types of players can't go to the same school and be successful. But what I'm saying is when you go to these camps and do these things, or you have correspondence with these coaches and stuff, make sure that they have a need for you if you're actively recruiting that school, if you're putting that school on your list. Parents, if you have kids that are in that age group to where they're locking down their list of schools because they fit our financial needs, they fit our academic needs, and then now we're trying to find what schools have our athletic needs. So make sure that it's an experience for you. What are you getting out of it? Don't sacrifice something because Susie's going to this camp and my daughter wants to go with Susie to this camp, because you could be throwing away $350 because A, they're not even recruiting your class. B, they've already locked down your position. They're not looking at that position again until 2026. Whatever. So each individual player, each individual case needs to have its own focus. And I get there are a bunch of camps out there, and there's different camps, whether it's prospect camp or like a clinic style camp. But if you're going to put a school sort of into your research pile where, hey, I'm going to a camp, I want to look at the campus, I want to visit the campus, I want to talk to the coaches, I want to see the other players and stuff like that. If you don't want to go there and you're just going because you're going with a friend, then I get it. Go do that. But don't try to go somewhere just because someone else is going there. Or don't go spend X amount of dollars on a camp just because you think that's the going rate and that's what that camp is worth. Do your own individual research and see if that's a good fit for you. Manny talks about fishing in the right ponds. It could be the right pond for your best friend, but not the right pond for you. You know, since Mandy has mentioned that probably about a year ago on the podcast, I don't know how long she's been talking about fishing in the right ponds, but ever since she said that, man, you would not believe how many people that I talk to talk about fishing in the right ponds. So it's crazy. And Mandy and I, we talk about this stuff when she is the scout for my daughter, and a little bit of the process with NSR, and everybody's process is going to be different because your scout is different people. But, you know, for the ones that think that signing on with a big time program like this or signing on with a recruiting service is wrong, or you shouldn't do this, or you're wasting your money, take it from me and my experience. It's not trying to keep up with the Joneses for us. It's not a waste of money for us. What this has done for us is opened our eyes to the real world of recruiting.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
The program that NSR uses to help these athletes find the right schools, whether it's academically, to make sure they have the right academic program, to ACT help, to camp information, to coaches and their information, and all this other stuff. And I'm telling you right now, as a parent, you would think that I would be heavily involved in my daughter's recruiting process. I'm not. I'm not at all. And I don't want to be. And I know you guys are thinking, what the heck? I'm not. She tells me, I emailed with so-and-so today, or I got an email from so-and-so today. I don't see those emails. That's her. I want her process to be organic to her. I want her to tell me about it. this is what I emailed. This is what I told them about. Hey, can you check this for grammatical errors or something like that? Yeah, I'll proofread her emails and stuff, but I'm not out there, hand jamming these things out for her and say, hey, this is what you need to say. This is what you need to do. We hired and got involved with the National Scouting Report to teach her. It's a tool in her toolbox to help her. And if anything, she has learned more or less what not to do in the recruiting process, because there's so much of us that post things on social media and we think it's the gospel. We think this is the way to do it. Well, I'm telling you right now, if you're just on social media, Twitter, Instagram, wherever, and you're just tagging coaches, your highlights, and hoping at some point they're going to shoot me an email or they're going to DM me or they're going to find me, I'm telling you right now, they're not going to find you. There are so few cases when players like that get identified in that manner. Emails, camps, direct correspondence, that kind of thing is where you get identified. And from that identification process is when you start to talk to them. You're at their camps, and it could take 1 or 2 camps. It could take 10 or 12 camps going there. And then all of a sudden, boom, we have a coaching change. So I got to start this whole process again because this coach really loved me. This coach really liked me. And then now they've taken a job somewhere else. So I got this whole new coaching staff coming in that knows nothing about me. Their philosophy is completely different. Or this coach wanted to be doing some small ball and wanted a bunch of speed. Now this coach wants to come in and wants nothing but power hitters. So there, I got to change up. And now I really want to go to the school because it fits my academic program, whatever. So it's your individual case. It's your individual race that you are running. Manny talks about running your own race at your own pace, making your own stops, doing your own thing. Do that. Don't just try to keep up with what your best friend is doing or what you see this team doing. This team is going to this camp or this team is going to this tournament, or we got to go spend $2,500 to go play at this tournament. Why are we not playing in Colorado? We don't ever go to the PGF National Championships out there in California. It's gotten crazy to where you think you have to play these tournaments, go to these camps, and if you don't, you're not going to college to play ball. I'm telling you right now, it's not like that. I'm telling you, I hope you listen and you understand that everybody's situation is going to be different. But if you think that you have to do one thing or another, and it's a surefire way to get recruited to the school that you want to get recruited to, I'm telling you it's not. There are formulas out there that will help you get you to where you want to go. And it's nothing crazy. It's not like there's some secret sauce to it. Because this whole thing is nothing more than human beings interacting with human beings. That's it. So going to a camp doesn't mean you're going to get recruited. Not going to a camp doesn't mean you're not going to get recruited. There's not a specific way. If I go to this camp and I invite them to this tournament and I do this and I email them this many times that I'm going to go, it doesn't work like that. It could work for Susie down the street because that coach could have seen what they needed to see. They woke up in a good mood, whatever. We have human nature involved here. It's not robots. This isn't AI. It's not like you have to check off all these boxes. Once all these boxes are checked off, they're going to give you an offer. It doesn't work like that. You could run this race for 2 years. You could have others that run this race for 6 years. You can commit, and then all of a sudden something else pops up and something changes, so you have to decommit. It could be out of your control. Who knows? Who knows? But if you're doing something just because you see someone else doing it, you're not running your race. You're mirroring someone else's race. Don't do that. Don't mirror someone else's race. Because at some point you're going to get to it and you're going to be like, holy crap. Why did I do that? This is not good. I'm in a situation now. I'm $60K in debt. I still got 2 more years of school to go to. Haven't touched a ball field in ages. I don't even want to play the game. I don't have time to play the game. I'm in an academic program that takes up all my time. The only reason I came here is because back when we were going through the recruiting process, me and Susie were going to be best friends. Well, she's already transferred after her freshman year because she didn't like the coach. See what I'm saying? You don't want to be in that kind of situation. I'm not saying that happens all the time. And I'm definitely not saying that doesn't happen, but imagine being in that situation. So take your time with this process. Just because you see it on social media, you see somebody posting that I went to this camp or that camp, and it puts this uneasy feeling in your stomach like, I need to go to that camp. I don't know why I need to go to that camp. Well, she's going, I need to go. I don't want her to look better than me. And if she goes to that camp, she's going to seem better than me. And if you're going to camps to be able to boast, like if it's like a handbag or a necklace or like it's an accessory, hey, we went to this camp. Hey, we went to that camp. Oh, I've got little Susie signed up to go to the Florida State camp, the Clemson camp, and the North Carolina camp this year. And then you go out there and people see Susie play, and you're like, whoa, okay. Well, this one, they're definitely just going to go because she's not good enough to play that level. And be honest, man. Good Lord Almighty. Please be honest with your athletes. Quit pumping their head and telling them that you got D1 talent or D2 talent or D3 talent. Stop talking about the level of talent and start talking about the grades. Hey, you've got the grades to get into this school, or you have the work ethic to maintain these grades to get into that school. And that's a tough conversation for parents to have down the road, man. When we're talking about budgeting and I want my kid to go here or there, and then I start looking at tuition and it's like, holy crap, how can I pay $55,000 a year? How am I going to tell her I can't afford that? So you're going to put that on her with these student loans and these grants and this scholarships and stuff like that, and you get it down to like $25K a year, still rolling out of college. If you go 4 years, you're still rolling out of college at $100K. You end up taking a year, end up going for 5 years now. You're rolling out at over $125K in student loan debt, and probably getting a job in an academic field that ain't going to pay the bills, or something that you hate. And you just settled on that degree program because that's what they offered at the school, because you were sure that you were going to be a 4-year starter at second base at Arizona or wherever, Central Florida. But if you go and look at the trends and you see how recruiting is going on the national level, you'll see that the number one thing that goes off the board first are transfers. And I'm talking transfers from within like D1 to D1, D2 to D2, D3 to D3. I'm talking about those transfers in the transfer portal. And then that second step is kids that are moving up. They're going and grabbing kids from JUCOs. They're going and grabbing kids from D2, moving them into D1 or D3 to D1 or D3 to D2. So they're transferring. And then they're filling their needs with high schoolers. That's when they're looking at juniors and seniors from high school. So that could be something different that you have to look at. Maybe you do go to a 2-year school. Maybe that's your path. Maybe that's your journey. You get in there and you knock out as much academic stuff as you can. So when you get somewhere and you got 2 years left of eligibility to play, and you got 2 years left to finish up your school, you're not taking on so much debt. You're not taking on such a huge workload. You've been able to produce at the collegiate level. You can show them, hey, this is hard facts right here. Boom. These are my stats. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've done since I have been at this school. This is the impact I have made in the dugout. This is the impact I have made on the field. I think at some point you're going to see there are very few 4-year starters at the Division I level. And I hate talking about Division I constantly and all the time, but that's what's on TV. And that's what people know the most of. There's so many schools out there that are at the D2 and D3 level that could stay with and compete and beat Division I schools. So even though we all talk about D1 and stuff like that, man, there are some schools out there that would turn heads. Okay. But we have this thing out there. We're trying to keep up with the Joneses. If you don't play D1, then you didn't make it to the highest level. I'm here to tell you That is a myth. That is a lie. That is insanity. Not everyone wants to go play Division I ball. Not everyone's ultimate goal, ultimate dream is to go play some low-end, mid-major Division I team that never competes for a conference championship, that has never gone to the Women's College World Series, that has never competed above 500. There are people out there that do want to go to those schools, but there are a ton that do not want to go to that kind of school. So I leave you with this. Would you rather go compete for a Division III national championship where it could cost you less money and you could stay closer to home, or would you want to go to a mid-major or a low-end Division I school to where they have never had a winning record, they've never competed for a conference championship, much less a national championship. It costs you an arm and a leg because it's out of state and you're 12 hours away from mom and daddy. What race are you running? Where's your finish line? What are you trying to do? Where are you at on that? Because if your ultimate race is determined and your ultimate destination is determined about how you're going to look in the eyes of other people, you might as well not even run a race, because that race isn't yours. You're doing it for someone else. You're doing it for the approval of your neighbor. You're doing it for the approval of this family that you've been friends with since you were 10 years old, because you're not doing it for the self-approval. You're not doing it to make yourself happy at the end of the day. You're doing it as an accessory. You're doing it to say, hey, this is where I went. Okay? All right. So that's going to wrap it up here for the Daily Show. Sorry for the rant, but Mandy, she got the gears going inside my head today, because I think it's such an important message that she talks about making sure you're running your race, fishing in your right ponds, and not every pond that you fish in is a pond for you. So, and kudos to Mandy for always dropping the knowledge. If you guys haven't checked her out yet, please, I'm going to link her stuff down in the description below. Follow her, Mandy Baldoff NSR, and just go through her page. Like her page, follow her, whatever you do on Facebook. She drops little nuggets all the time, and it is great information. It's not for everybody. Not everything she posts is for everybody, and she's not yelling at everybody, and she's not telling everybody that you're dumb or, you know, you're doing it the right way or you're doing it the wrong way. She's putting these little nuggets out there to get you to think. That's it. To interpret it in some way that has an effect on you, and to help you and prevent you from making a wrong decision. Help you make the right ones, prevent you from making the wrong ones. And if anything else, it's just to get you to think. A lot like what I do here. Okay? Looking to have Mandy on the podcast again here in the future. I love talking to Mandy. So hopefully this winter we'll be able to catch up once things slow down. She's a busy, busy gal. Okay? All right. If you think someone may like this information, or if you just want to help me out and share this information with someone, share it with one of your friends. And when you do, you tell them you love them.